This video dives into the amazing life and career of soulful singer-songwriter Alicia Keys. We'll explore her journey from a classically trained pianist to a Grammy-winning superstar. We'll get the scoop on her age, her relationship with her husband and children, and the inspiring story of her family. But that's not all. We'll also uncover Alicia's incredible career, from her chart-topping hits like Fallin to her work as an activist and entrepreneur. Get ready to be inspired by Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys is an American singer and songwriter. A classically trained pianist, Keys began composing songs when she was the age of 12 and was signed by Columbia Records at the age of 15. Born January 25, 1981, age 43 years, Hell's Kitchen, New York, United States. Spouse, Swizz Beatz, M. 2010. Parents, Terria Joseph, Craig Cook. Children, 2. Siblings, Cole Cook. Alicia Keys' net worth $150 million. Early life, family, and education. Keys was born Alicia Agello Cook on January 25, 1981, in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood of Manhattan, New York City. She is the only child of Teresa Agello, who was a paralegal and part-time actress, and one of 3 children of Craig Cook, who was a flight attendant. Keys's father is African American and her mother is of Italian and Irish or Scottish descent. Her mother's paternal grandparents were immigrants from Sciacca, Sicily, and Lamezia Terme, in Calabria. Named after her Puerto Rican godmother, Keys has said that she was comfortable with her multiracial heritage because she felt she was able to relate to different cultures. Keys's father left when she was 2 years old. She was subsequently raised by her mother during her formative years at Manhattan Plaza in Hell's Kitchen. Keys has stated that her parents never had a relationship, and her father was not in her life. Although she did not like to speak about her father in order to not feed stereotypes, Keys remarked in 2001, "I'm not in contact with him. That's fine. When I was younger, I minded about that. Made me angry. But it helped show me what a strong woman my mother was, and made me want to be strong like her. Probably, it was better for me this way." Keys and her mother lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Her mother often worked 3 jobs to provide for Keys, who learned how to survive from her mother's example of tenacity and self-reliance. From a young age, Keys struggled with self-esteem issues, hiding little by little when her differences made her vulnerable to judgment, and later uninvited sexual attention. Living in the rough neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen, she was, from an early age, regularly exposed to street violence, drugs, prostitution, and subjected to sexual propositions in the sex trade and crime-riddled area. "I saw a variety of people growing up, and lifestyles, lows and highs. I think it makes you realize right away what you want and what you don't want," Keys said. Keys recalled feeling fearful early on of the animal instinct she witnessed, and eventually feeling high due to recurrent harassment. Her experiences in the streets had led her to carry a homemade knife for protection. She became very wary, emotionally guarded, and she began wearing gender-neutral clothing and what would become her trademark cornrows. Keys explained that she is grateful for growing up where she did as it prepared her for the parallels in the music industry, particularly as she was a teenager starting out. She could maintain a particular focus and not derail herself. She credits her tough mother for anchoring her on a right path as opposed to many people she knew who ended up on the wrong path and in jail. Keys attributed her unusual maturity as a young girl to her mother, who depended on her to be responsible while she worked to provide for them and gave Keys as many opportunities as possible. Keys loved music and singing from early childhood. She recalled her mother playing jazz records of artists such as Thelonious Monk, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, and Louis Armstrong on Sunday mornings, early musical moments Keys considers influential in kindling her interest in and emotional connection to music. In preschool, Keys sang in her school's production of the musical Cats and was cast as Dorothy Gale in a production of The Wizard of Oz. Keys discovered that she had a passion for the piano by age 6, as she loved the sound and feel of the instrument and desired to play and learn it. When Keys was 10, a neighborhood friend who was moving home gave her family an old upright piano. This proved pivotal for Keys's musical development, which allowed her to practice, to play, and to benefit fully from music lessons at an early age. Keys began receiving classical piano training by age 7, practicing 6 hours a day, learning the Suzuki method and playing composers such as Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, and Satie. She was particularly drawn to blue, dark, shadowy, and melancholic compositions, as well as the passionate romanticism of blue composers like Chopin. Inspired by the film Philadelphia, Keys wrote her first song about her departed grandfather on her piano by age 12. The scene in the film in which Tom Hanks's character listens to opera on a record player notably affected Keys, who never showed emotion very well. After seeing the film, Keys, for the first time, could express how felt through the music. Personal life. For over a decade, Keys was in a low-profile romantic relationship with her longtime good friend and collaborator Cary Brothers Jr. until 2008. Keys later dated hip-hop artist-producer Swizz Beatz, whom she married on July 31, 2010. They have 2 sons together.